Hello, everyone. If you ever thought corporate life is difficult, this panel is for you to watch. The next 40 minutes can really change your life. Welcome to episode 6 of the movement called #WeToo, a platform created for the professional women, by the professional women, and with a goal to give confidence to be able to stand up, speak up, and by doing this, inspire and uplift the community of other working women around the globe. Well, I'm your host, Poonam Vijay, the founder of the movement and the community called #WeToo India. Very excited I am to announce the topic of the discussion for this month. Some inspirational stories and experiences of women leaders. Yes, we will dwell deeper into the taboo of career breaks, maternity, motherhood, wage penalty, single mom issues and challenges, and loads of inspiration coming really from very strong women who went ahead to craft a path for themselves against all difficulties. Yes, my friends, for this panel, please join me to welcome another inspirational and a stellar lineup of global women leaders. Ms. Khushbu, ex-KSA and Ernst & Young, settled in the UK, is a successful business partner with NHSP England in the transformation and strategic business space. She works closely with Art of Living Foundation too. Ms. Bhavna Janeja, a thought leader who wears multiple hats, very inspirational woman, with 2 decades of rich experience in the global businesses, specializing in the IT service risk assessment, new age technology, a member of Forbes Technology Council, and a global vice president IT services life sciences. Then we have Ms. Surya Singh, very inspirational ex-TV anchor. She has been a radio jockey, an anchor, correspondent, and a producer with Aaj Tak and Headlines Today. Currently, she is leading the brand communications for Air India's wholly owned subsidiary, Alliance Air. And of course, last but not the least, Ms. Gauri Pandey, with over 14 years of vast cross-industry experience in the PR field. She is an independent PR professional who has led many mandates for leading brands across Delhi and NCR. So, without much ado, let's begin a conversation that can and has the power to possibly change your life. Hello, everyone. A strong woman completes the circle. She possesses the ability to create, nurture, and transform not just people, but lives. Here I am with another panel discussion with all the leaders from the industry. You all know who are there on the panel right now. And I'm so excited to be having this discussion. We will deep dive into career breaks. I think everybody wanted to know more about how career breaks are tackled, what are the strategies to be used, and how women leaders have been managing, dealing, and going above the career breaks to define their career and their identity. So I'm very excited. We'll start with Khushbu today. Khushbu, I have a very interesting question for you.
Go ahead.
Challenges persist, but women need to return. We are trying to normalize career breaks. I think whoever is going to be watching this show must know that it's a part of life. Let me throw some numbers to you. I have an interesting study from the Center of Monitoring Indian Economy, CMI, in India. They say that we are seeing more women take an interest in technology and joining STEM. But where we see a challenge is that this ratio starts to skew down at the mid-career level. And this is the bio cycle for women that we're talking about. Yeah. We see this problem across the country. As a result of this, 2.4 million women dropped out of the workforce in 2017. Due to factors such as we all know, maternity, marriage, wage disparity, gender bias, and the list is long. How are you managing in the foreign land? What has been your journey, Khushbu? Please share with us.
Oh, well, it's a quite touchy question for me because so I started my career under the mentorship of Dr. Naresh Srehan back in the days. Parallelly, I was pursuing my executive MBA from IIM Calcutta, swinged into management consulting, and I absolutely loved that time, working with KSA, Technopak, EY, picking up stimulating challenges, absolutely amazing accolades that were coming as a part of my career growth. And I still remember back in the days, when one of the common questions used to be, oh, how do you see yourself 5 years from now? One of the interview questions I think it was a standard thing.
Staple.
Yeah. And I would say I'm going to be on the cover page of Vogue as the face of healthcare consultancy. But at the back of it, late 2009, I got married, packed my bags, came to the UK. Doesn't mean I packed up my ambitions, but I came here. Unfortunately or fortunately, the Western economies were led into recession due to Lehman Brothers and bankruptcy and everything. So it was very difficult to get a foothold in the market. Right. I found myself revolving around a loop challenged, which was, oh, you don't have any UK-based experience. How can we offer you a job? And I would be like, if you don't give me a job, how do I get the experience? I have the skill sets that you need for the job, but you need to offer me an opportunity. However, it didn't work. It seemed like a black dot at the end. I paddled through, put in a lot of efforts, and then I just dropped it when I was expecting. And currently, my daughter, she's 10 years old. But when I dropped that, when the gap came, it was roughly for 4 years. And as time progressed, for me, it was important that I start meeting the ambitions that I had around my child. So I attracted an opportunity. Now, I'm very pragmatic about the word that I'm using here, an opportunity that would allow me to balance with the work, with the family life, and raising a little toddler. Time progressed. I maneuvered the opportunities, I upskilled myself, I diversified myself, and I progressed within the organization I'm currently working for, which is NHS Professionals. Reeling back, did I have a career break? Yes, I did have a career break. I had an evident career break for 4 years. But do I still have a career break? Despite the job, the answer is yes. It is still a career break because what I'm doing right now is a job. It's not a career, right? What has it costed me? It has costed me a progression that I was ambitious to seek. There were circumstances which were forced. They were personal choices that I had to make as a mother, as a wife. I had to let go. Right. Did I get the support along the way in terms of the opportunities that were coming? The answer is no. As I progressed through my years in the UK, I continued attracting opportunities with big consulting firms and stuff like that. But the moment I would say, yes, I'm here to deliver and I'm the right candidate for you, and things would go up to the final bit and I would have the final conversation, yes, okay, I have a limitation, which is around the travel. Would that be okay with you? Right. And it would be a full stop, end of discussion. And it was quite unfortunate because I think I was being judged more on the personal circumstances rather than the ability or the capability that I could bring in. Correct. And that has been a challenge ever since. I think it's only, you're quite right, this kind of a crisis majority of us face in our midlife or, when we are in the early on in our families. Right. As an individual, it's very important for me that if I'm investing 15, 20, no, sorry, that's an exaggeration, but about 1/3 of my day in the organization, I would like to feel at home. True. I would want to have that sense of stability. I would want to have that sense of security. And I would want the organization to give me the support in terms of where to pause, where to stop, and where to slow down. Career break is not about, okay, I'm not turning up to work next day. It could be about I want to return after a sabbatical of 2 years, or it could be just slowing down or having that opportunity to move horizontal across the business. True.
Kushbu, what do you think about this is a taboo, career break? Yeah. Why should it be stigmatized like this? I mean, these are bio breaks, right?
Yeah, they are. But I think we're being judged. I think as women specifically, we are not being dealt in a holistic manner. You can't if you want me to deliver at work, you can't just see me as an employee who is delivering. I have a baggage at the back of me. Let me handle that in totality. We can't compartmentalize if we want to be productive. We can't be playing multiple faces, multiple roles, and keep our individuality separate from that.
Wonderful. I think you made a huge point here.
So as a woman, I'm happy to give the organization what it needs out of me. I'm ready to drive the value, but then give me the space that I require equally.
Sure. Wonderful. Let's move on to Bhavna. I'll come back to you, Khushbu. I have another question for you. But let's take Bhavna, getting back isn't easy. I think everybody's trying to say that. Now, there has been a lot of challenges getting back to work, as most of the companies have a work culture that values youth over age. And it is given now in the digital age, it is all the more, severe. So there is this gender bias, and then there is a digital age, then there is an age gap for returning women. Now, companies that have returnee programs don't seem to have helped much either. And that's a documented fact. Even after reaching out to them in person, women don't seem to be getting the help that they should. Well, the struggle is real, but you have to ride the wave. Bhavna, talk to us about the challenges of a single mother and how did you ride the wave so well? I know about your journey. I would want everybody watching this show to know about your journey.
Well, Poonam, it's like a whole roller coaster ride for me. I started very young at the age of 15, where I was helping my single mom back in India. We were three sisters. And I was the shy teenager, and my mom was determined that I'm going to make sure this, girl who keeps crying at every nook and corner, I'm going to make sure she becomes strong. So she sent me door to door in Defense Colony to do sales, where she used to get stuff, those imported glasses and, those blankets, and she would send me door to door. And anytime a house used to reject me, she used to send me back the next day again. And I used to get so frustrated because I was the three sisters. I was the only one, who was sent. But then today, when I look back, she had an agenda. She probably knew what was going to happen in my life. I lost her 15 years back to cancer. But today, I say that she was the CEO of my life. And the reason was that maybe God instilled in her that she knew that I would have to have the same journey. It was tough. I wouldn't say that it was an easy joyride, but I am a queen of multitasking. I can multitask like there is no tomorrow. And I think that has really proved, to myself, to the people that are around me, to my children, who for them, I'm the biggest role model because their dad is not involved in their life for almost 17 years now. It's been a challenge. My son was only 2 when my ex-husband left. But that did not stop me. I took it up as a bigger challenge that, I'll fall, I'll get up like there's no tomorrow, and my mother always used to say, unless you fall, you will not enjoy getting up. Unless you wear your heels, you will not know how to walk in heels and look like a, charismatic woman. So, and the funny thing is, my mother was a 300-pound woman, but every morning she used to get up and she used to look in the mirror and she was like, oh, I'm looking nice.
Perfect. Yes.
So, it has been drilled in me and my sisters that never undersell yourself, never look down upon yourself. You are your biggest. You look in the mirror and you say, that's my competition. So my ride as a single mother has been very challenging. When I came to the United States, I waited tables. I have, worked in a music store to pay my rent. I have taken my 40-day-old son to work. But that never stopped me, in doubting myself that I can't do it. I can do
so inspirational. Bhavna, what is your internal talk? What do you tell yourself, when there is a challenge? Please inspire. What is your internal talk that you do to yourself?
I get up, I get dressed, I get dolled up, and I say, woman, you can do it.
Yes. Wonderful. I think when it is difficult times, I think the first thing that we do is we don't want to dress up. We don't want to get up. We don't want to face people. You're saying that do everything as it is perfect. Go out and face the world.
Never a dull moment. I always like to dress up, especially when I'm low and depressed. I always think, today is the day I really got to make effort because I'm my only motivator. If I'm not going to love myself, nobody else is going to love me. So, that's what inspires me, and that's what I make sure inspires my kids.
I'm sure. I'm sure. How is it that you also you were mentioning about how you are trying to help people whenever you're looking at somebody on LinkedIn? Tell us about that story, please.
So I have always been, there's always been a point. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I have multiple ventures, but this one venture, which is my main one, grossing about 63 million globally. I have always, it's a women-owned minority company. It's a global firm with offices in US, Canada, UK, India, and now, exploring the Philippines as well. I have never looked at somebody's experience. I always tell my recruitment team, look at somebody of the enthusiasm to learn and their career aspiration that they bring on the call or on the video when they are with you. Correct. Don't bother about, whether they were a mom, whether they were a housewife, or whether they are on sabbatical. Doesn't matter. You have the aspiration to grow. I will make sure I will give you the platform. Just be sincere, when I give you the opportunity. And very recently, I've done it many times, but very recently I saw this post of this girl, Neha, who posted, that, in COVID, she lost her job. It's been in a 1.5 years. She's got an HR background. She lost her confidence completely, and there were about 1,300 people who kind of, responded to that. And, I'm a LinkedIn addict. So, I responded to her. I said, why don't you send me your resume? She sent it, I spoke with her, and she was like, I really am looking for somebody to help me bring my confidence back. Yeah. And that just struck me. I was like, there is a reason God has made me respond to this, and it is my responsibility to make sure that I help this girl bring her confidence back. Because
wonderful,
who knows, she must have fallen down so many times. Somebody is going to be there, to pick her up. And
somebody God has to uplift. Wonderful, wonderful, partner.
And God chose me. I'm blessed for that. So I'm very proud, I'm coaching her, although I have so many employees in the company who are my team members, but I'm particularly putting a lot of effort in her. I speak with her daily, and all my other folks are like,
she's special. She's special. But, if you can uplift the broken people, there's nothing more. I think that is the biggest fulfillment. And this also brings me to the fact that why #WeToo. And this campaign that we're doing, I'm trying to reach out to all the women leaders like you across the world, bringing them on this panel and discussing about their stories. Why? Not because of the designation that you carry or because of the profession that you have been. It is a platform where I'm looking for real people to come and talk. No hunky-dory stuff, no anything of, it is your story. If you are proud of the challenges, as you said, this platform is for you. And as Bhavna, I'm going to be requesting right now, I want to interrupt everything and request every woman out there who's watching this, if we all can help the way you are uplifting Neha, I'm sure if she's watching this, she's going to feel a little more confident. We all are talking about her. If we can uplift one person out there, be it Neha or be it Danish or be it Saurabh, it is one human being. I think that's the biggest fulfillment as corporate leaders we can do. And this whole campaign, now you all are part of #WeToo community. We are trying to uplift people. So wonderful, Bhavna, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I will roll back to you. I want to now go to Surya. Surya, women are also discouraged from returning to work. Yeah. Now, that it is difficult, but they are also discouraged. I want to throw a little light on it. After a break due to number of expectational factors. Now, be it society, people, friends, colleagues, or your family. Somebody will come in and just tell you, hey, it's been 5 years of career break. You're not apt for the industry anymore. Things like that, it happens. Now, it is the environment, internal environment, and the external environment. A world full of bias, assumptions, lack of empathy, I would say, at many levels, no understanding of the bio breaks are so important. I cannot emphasize on the importance of it is as normal as you breathing. Right? If you're unwell, you're going to take a break. Likewise, if there is some requirement in your family, and most of the researchers have put this fact on the table, that most of the career breaks are not because you want to chill, because there is a requirement in the family or your immediate, or you want to upskill yourself. What is your take on this? How has been your journey, Surya?
Right. You know what, Poonam? Let me tell you, I've had two major career breaks in my life. One was actually quite early. I had just given my 12th standard exams, and on my birthday, got this disease. It's an idiopathic disease called Bell's palsy. This is a facial paralysis. And,
Oh my
at
God.
such
Yeah.
a young age, suddenly getting up in the morning and, you want all your family members to wish you and everything. And suddenly I saw one part of my face go on one side. And I thought that, hey, what is this? And, we visited a doctor, and then, he told me it's idiopathic. You'll have to take steroids and you'll be on some physiotherapy and you'll be okay in about 3 months. At that tender age, when you're full of dreams and everything, it was quite a shock. But with firm faith in God and my parents' support, I recuperated. And would you believe, that actually was a blessing in disguise, because, I was at home. I took a 1-year gap after my 12th standard. And that whole 1 year, I actually got myself such physical, emotional, and spiritual nourishment, which has actually guided me to the path I am on today. I then decided that, hey, what if this has come my way? I strongly believe in Krishna. So I saw that, hey, Krishna, you're with me. And I just know that I want to be a TV journalist. And how's that going to happen with this kind of a problem? But, I took therapy. I took the right kind of steps. I did my bachelor's in vocational journalism. Alongside, I was the solo RJ of, I think I hosted at least 9 radio shows and radio plays in Chandigarh at
Wow.
that point of time. Yeah. And then I did a stint in print. I was with Hindustan Times. I was with Times of India, Tribune. I moved on from radio to print. And then I thought that, hey, now is the time to take the challenge. I was a
Yeah.
Bell's palsy patient, but let me take this heads on. And I became the anchor of India's #1 news channel. I was an anchor, producer, and a correspondent with Aaj Tak and Headlines Today. So, that
That's what
one
we
year,
call women's spirit.
yeah. So that 1 year of break actually was a
Yeah.
blessing in disguise. Then post that, when I was enjoying my stint as a journalist, I was covering beats like, from cinema to, crime to business to health to technology, everything. I actually was at the zenith of my career. And, suddenly I get an opportunity where I'm offered a full-time post as an editor of a national television channel. That point of time, my father, who's an army officer, was getting retired. Now, he was an infantry officer. He told me, Beta, I've been, in Kargil, in different infantry postings. I want to spend some time with you because, you'll be married. What do we
Yeah.
do? I said that, okay, Dad, let me take a break. So everyone was taken aback that, hey, like this, you've been a radio jockey, you've been a journalist, you've been this, that, and you're taking a break, you're getting a full-time job as an editor. What are you even doing? I said,
Yeah.
no, I want to pack tiffins for my dad when he goes to his, last year of active non-retirement life. And I actually did that. I learned curry chawal to rajma chawal from him. Yeah, and I'm immensely proud of that. I used to do that. And I enjoyed, watching those Pakistani dramas with my mom on YouTube, like
Yeah.
Zindagi Gulzar and all of that, I remember. And I enjoyed that stint with my parents. And that is when my proposal for marriage also came. And I got married to someone who was an H1 visa holder. So I had to move to USA. And
Okay.
that is when I got to know that, hey, okay, now I'm in that H4 dilemma and I could not work for, one full year. But again, that was the second career gap. I mean, of course, once initially I had chosen to, but then I always had plans to return after 1 year or so. But then I got married to such a person wherein my visa restrictions did not let me work. So then again, I think it was, as they say, the jobs, they fill your pockets, but these adventures, they fill your soul. And this
Yes.
gap was actually an adventure. I mean, I traveled around USA. I had the best of time. And, along with my break, I decided to upskill. And I upskilled and I opened a new avenue of digital marketing, content strategy, search engine optimization. These things were unknown to me as a communication storyteller. So, that 1 year of break actually happened to open such avenues that once I had my baby, then I conceived, I was blessed with a baby girl. And as soon as she was 8 months, I was again, I started my career as a corporate communication professional, which is only due to the learnings I had in USA and the new
Correct.
course. What I mean to say is that these breaks are not essentially bad, and I want the recruiters there to know that if a person, even when I was in USA, I used to get calls from relatives and they used to say that, hey, are you just a housewife? Are you just like cooking? I was like, yeah, I'm a homemaker and I'm damn proud of that. I mean, languages also have pauses and commas. I think they're for a reason, right? You need pauses, you need time.
Wonderful.
So
yes.
I would just say that, recharge your batteries, get new perspectives. There are, your life is your own and breaks are beautiful. That's all I'll say. Sometimes you choose them, sometimes they choose you.
Right.
But anyway, make the best of them. And please, world, do not judge breaks. I mean, they are so much required. So yeah, I think.
So what do you want to tell the world? All the recruiters, they have to put out a very strong request to them. And I think they have to stop saying, "Are you planning to return?" There's no return. I just took a pause. I'm very much in the wave. I'm very much a part of the tide, and they have to stop saying, "Oh, you're planning to return." No, I'm not planning to return. I plan to take a break, and now I'm back. What would you want to tell the recruiters?
I would just say that just take it as a part of the anyone's journey. It is an ongoing process wherein this pause is very much required, and be human. I mean, we're not technical robots here, right? Yeah. Life happens. Sometimes setbacks happen. Sometimes now COVID scenario, for instance, we've seen globally. I mean, it is a global pandemic, and see what the situation has brought us into. So many had to. So many lost their loved ones, and there's so many reasons one had to take breaks for. I would just say that skills can be learned, but attitude, I think the recruiters have to go for that attitude. Fine if a person has taken a break, but dive deep into it. What was the break about? Right. If the person has been constructive or making a way for oneself in that break, please, I think there should be some extra bonus points for that.
Absolutely. That's a good point. That's a good
point. And determination.
Correct.
Yeah. So I think.
Wonderful, Surya. Now let me just quickly go to Gauri. Gauri, this is going to be a little difficult for you, and I'm putting this in inverted commas. There is a new concept in the corporate world called motherhood wage penalty. It's a very sad thing, but I really want to put it out in this panel. One of the online surveys titled Second Careers of Women Professionals, the India story, was a part of Avtar's annual Research Viewpoint Report 2019. And I quote, it was conducted amongst 783 second career women from various sectors across India with an average work experience of 9.5 to, you can say, a career break of 4 to 5 years. The survey revealed that the majority of respondents, 69%, anticipate a pay cut on re-entry due to prevalence of this demon, motherhood wage penalty. Like you're getting penalized for being a mother, which refers to mothers suffering from wage and hiring disadvantages in the workplace. Give us your view. You are a very well-known PR professional, Gauri.
Yeah, so Poonam, I can deeply empathize with this because a lot of my colleagues also have faced this situation. Being a communications professional, we are in the industry which has a high attrition rate, and people keep switching and moving to different jobs. But at the same time, this career break that we are talking about today, it could be about any personal emergency, exigency, anything in the family, any personal setbacks, or just upskilling, or just taking that time off to introspect and see that whether you are going in the right direction or not. Because sometimes when you are just working continuously, you don't really look back, and you don't get the time, or neither you have the inclination to sit down and introspect that yes, what am I doing, and is it right for me? Am I moving? I'm just rushing, or I'm really adding value to myself, my career, or I'm just in a rat race following others, and I also want to earn a certain salary, and I'm doing that just for the sake of it. Maybe that's not my interest area. Maybe my interest could be something else. My passion lies elsewhere. But since I have been doing that over the years, it becomes a routine, and we are not conscious about it. We unconsciously keep heading in the same direction. So
just like being on a treadmill.
Right.
The work treadmill.
Exactly. Without giving it a thought, you're just running like
That's
a
right.
robot. So there could be a number of reasons. Like in my case, when like 3 years ago, my dad passed away. He was on a ventilator and he was in the ICU in the last days. I needed that break because I was so attached to him. I could not, just take 15 days off and just get back to work like that. It was very difficult to me to come to terms with his death. And, I needed that time off from everything. I just cut off myself from everything, apart from my family, of course, who was there. But still, you need that time off. You just can't be, okay, fine, I've taken 10 days break and everything is
I'm
over
back to
now
normal.
and I'm back to normal. No, as we have just discussed, that we are not robots. We are human beings. Yeah,
Correct.
We are not machines that, we just need to keep working and keep earning money and, minting money. So it's not that sort of a thing. We need to sometimes introspect, and then we could utilize that time in other things, pursuing other passion. Like due to the pandemic, there have been so many layoffs in PR agencies and advertising and communications, work field, that, people have taken the time off to pursue their passion, and which is not wrong. Why not? I mean, all these years you haven't had the time to do that, and now when you got the time off, you utilize it, you enjoy with your family, you pursue your hobby, singing, music, dance, cooking, whatever, baking, whatever you love doing, just enjoy that. That is also part of you, and that also helps you grow as a person, not only your professional career, but your passion, your interests, what you are as an individual. That also adds value to you. So our upbringing has been like that. We have been moduled in such a way that you have to study till certain age, then you have to work, and then you have to get married, and then you have to do this. It's like a series of things which you are supposed to do, and which there is no time for any break. Tuck, you keep moving on from one thing to the other. So I think break is very much required for us as individuals, for our growth. And I feel so many recruiters raising their eyebrows. Oh, okay, so you were not working from this time period to this time period. Why? What happened? Okay, then they start getting suspicious that there's something wrong with this person.
I think this whole panel is to normalize that.
Exactly.
I think we all have to put out a request to all the recruiters out there, and even the HR. They are not robots.
Exactly.
They are not robots. They are also human beings.
Exactly.
They also go through the same thing.
And one more thing I would like to add, that your career break doesn't take away your capabilities, your experience, your knowledge, your skill sets from you. It doesn't take away that from you. You might be on a break, but still you possess all those things, and so I don't understand this philosophy of looking down upon people who have taken a break, or who have been taking a sabbatical for a certain reason, which could be any. And especially in the case of motherhood, it's such a big responsibility. It's a huge change in a woman's life, and it's a huge evolution. So you need break for that, of course. Yeah, you can't be a mother one day and next day you're jumping to office. Obviously, it can't be like that.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying this, Gauri. I think now to conclude, thank you so much for sharing your life with everyone watching this. To conclude, I'll go back in the same sequence. If we all can put that one powerful line, as we say that this entire conversation is to normalize and humanize career breaks. Even robots, for that matter, robot is going to be off battery. It'll be on a station to get charged up, right? So that's exactly. I mean, I think working more than robots. We are expected to be, just doing much more than even a machine. So, Khushbu, I'll start with you, and we can go in the same sequence. One powerful line that you want to leave. I'm sure a lot of people are inspired by your story. One powerful line to the world of recruiters, HR leaders, in context of humanizing career breaks.
I don't know whether a line or not, but I think I definitely would have a suggestion at this stage. shit happens. It's important that there is an element of adaptability with the employers. Attracting fresh talent is always good, but retaining talent with the organization is a lot more productive. Generally, organization goes for low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But in consequence of that, they lose very good talent. They miss out on good talent of people who have been with them for a rather long time. They miss those mid-term to long-term human assets that could be contributing.
Sure.
So I think there's a huge element of EQ required. There need to be programs where women, if they require support to come back into the industry, companies should consider launching such things, or allow horizontal movements across the organization that helps them slow down or helps them cut down the responsibility. I mean, for me, it's like, if I can't feel at home at my work, then I'm not going to last with you for too long.
True.
So it's that sense of belongingness is very, very critical to me.
The sense of support, sense of belongingness, and building further EQ, because actually the world is moving towards a lot of, we are going to be seeing robots and machines all around. We are so digitally, the digital assets are a part of our life. So I think the EQ, we should work on the EQ is your takeaway. Is a takeaway from you, what you said. Thank you, Khushbu. Bhavna.
Well, being that I'm in the industry where I have so many recruiters working for me, I would say I'm a book. Don't just read my synopsis. Take the effort of opening the book and reading me. Life happens, and don't judge the book by its cover.
Wow.
I can be pretty inside, so please take the effort of knowing me. That's what I tell my clients, not just recruiters. I tell my clients that too. Breaks happen, and breaks are good, but don't judge a person by just looking at the resume and it says that they took a break. Take the time to understand them. That's what the industry is all about. If you don't do that, then like Khushbu said, you miss out on good talent.
Absolutely. Wonderful. This also makes me think about, how the resumes are picked up. There is tech involved in it. Now, when a tech is picking up, a software is picking up your resume, right, on the internet, there is no empathy. There are keywords. But the moment it lands with a human being, I think that human factor, we don't have to behave like machines, right? We are human beings. We have to behave like, as Brigitte says, that putting human back to human resources. I think it's a very powerful line. Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you. Surya?
I think I would just sum it up in 3 words, that breaks are beautiful, breaks bring balance, and I think, and as you rightly mentioned, there are bots filtering the resumes. So definitely, I think there should be some, there's more to a person than keywords. You really cannot filter a person's talent or a potential in terms of those keywords. So life is beautiful. I think the HR should also maybe introduce some new keywords to, find out and dive into what the person was doing during the break, or, or how human that person is. So yeah, I think breaks are beautiful. Yeah, they are.
Thank you so much, Surya. Gauri?
So I would like to sum it up by saying that, breaks are important for movement. And unless and until you apply brakes, you can't really move forward. You might just crash into something. So,
wonderfully put.
Breaks are very important for us. And we should never judge a person if he or she has taken a break, unless and until, the skill sets and the knowledge and everything else, experience and everything else is in place. I mean, that's a fair enough criteria to recruit somebody, not on the basis of career gaps. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being a part of this community that we are building, #WeToo. We want to normalize all the pains by telling our stories out and real stories out. So I cannot thank you enough for your participation. Thank you very much.